What's up? What's up? This your boy Bosky. We tapped back in. We've been tapped in today. This is a great day to be a part of the Humming Podcast because like I told y'all, we got a bunch of I would say like I told y'all, but this is a new podcast, so we could be on a whole different wavelength of frequency. So we got a bunch of new books in today, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all what they are and how that I came about it real quick. So one book that I really love, well, one author that I really love reading from is Malcolm Gladwell. If you've been following this podcast at any point, you know that I like Malcolm's work. This is the second book from Malcolm Gladwell I've gotten within the last month, and there's been something that I've been wanting. This book here is David and Goliath. It was a wait. This book here is what the dog saw actually. So I got tricked. Okay, I got really tricked, and I don't know how they did it, but they tricked me. So in my hand here, I have a sheet of, can you see, David and Goliath, but I have the book of what the dog saw. So this book here was written before David and Goliath came out, back in 2009, and Malcolm Gladwell starts this book out so awesome to the point where he clears any, you know, the air for anybody who don't know. He does that well, and I'm so thankful for that. He cleared the air for me as a writer. He said, "What the dog saw and other adventures." That's the name of the book. The preface, he says, he closes it in a wonderful paragraph, giving us a description about his life after, you know, after certain accomplishments. He says, after college, I worked for 6 months at a little magazine in Indiana called the American Spectator. I moved to Washington, D.C. and freelanced for a few years, and eventually caught on with the Washington Post. And from there came to the New Yorker. Along the way, writing has never ceased to be fun, and and I hope that buoyant spirit I hope that buoyant spirit is evident in these pieces. Nothing frustrates me more than someone who reads something out of mine or anyone else's and says angrily, "Ow, I don't buy it." Why are they angry? Good writing does not succeed or fail on the strength of its ability to persuade. Not the kind of writing that you will find in this book, anyway. It succeeds or fails on the strength of its ability to engage you, to make you think, to give you a glimpse into something else, someone else's head. Even if in the end you conclude that someone else's head is not a place you'd really like to be, I've called these pieces adventures because that's what they are intended to be. Enjoy yourself. So, in the preface there, he talks about that. He gives us a description about it. So, what it made me think of was a travel agent, or a tourist, a tour guide, like those types of things. So it helped me understand what it means to help another person go on an adventure. And we talked about that a little bit in the last podcast, and we talked about traveling the world. Teaching others to travel the world. So like, don't just drone them away at the work. Teach them to long for the vast and endlessness of the world, so that y'all can travel the world together. And that's what Malcolm Gladwell does here. He goes on adventures. So what the dog saw and other adventures by Malcolm Gladwell. That's the first book that we got. Not David and Goliath. You snuck this on me. I don't know if I even own David and Goliath. I might own this book already, as a matter of fact. I need to figure out which one I own. I can't be having too many of the same ones now. Don't be playing with me. Don't be playing like that. R.L. Stein. This book here is called Superstitious. It was his first book into adult fiction. So it's a little bit on the. This is a word that I've recently learned that women read books about. It's a little bit on the smutty side. So he did a great job of painting the images in the first couple pages. So I went ahead and got this book, which I think he did a good job in creative writingly in his bag. You know, he was creatively in his bag, and I think he did a great job. Book came out in 1995. R.L. Stein is the author of books like Goosebumps and Fear Street, like those types of things. So I'm excited to read this. I believe this is going to help me take a step into the next and right direction according to what I do. Another book that I got, which was impacted for me to get by Malcolm Gladwell's Talking to Strangers, is this book here. It's called The Sisterhood: The Secret History of Women at the CIA. And I read a little bit about this, and I knew immediately that I needed this book because watch this. When I open this book and go into the table of contents and I start to look, okay, what could this book be about? The first part, it says part one. It says the part one is called The Assessment of Men. And I was like, what the heck? The Assessment of Men? This book is called The Sisterhood. Why is it called The Assessment of Men? The first part. See, men are obsessed with men, or women are obsessed with men. And in the culture that we live in today, it makes it seem like women hate men, but women are really obsessed with men. And I'm like, what in the world is going on, dude? I'm gonna tweet that real quick. I'm gonna tweet that out on the XDOSCIENCE account, and I want you guys to support that tweet. Where's my phone at? Because it's the truth. I'm gonna play some music while we tweet that, y'all. Music while we tweet that. Ooh. We gonna play. I can't play music because I'm streaming to YouTube, and so YouTube it always regulates those things. So we're not gonna play music while we tweet that. Ooh. We're not gonna do it. If you ever had an idea like man, I need a distraction right now. Jump on Twitter. I promise you, it's gonna distract you. I promise you, Twitter can distract anybody. I'm gonna say women are obsessed. Women, this culture in today says women hate men, but yet that's not true. Women are actually obsessed with men. That I just wanted to post that because it made a lot of sense, and it's just like sometimes you look at life and you be like what is really going on? Like we're so far from what God intended for us, but yet it's only because people continue to lie. People continue to just lie about stuff that don't even need to be lied about. When we could live so much more freely in this country if people just stop lying all the time, lying to themselves, lying to the people that look like them and that care about them, just lying all the time. The prologue of this book, The Sisterhood, is really short. Um, it's only 2 pages, but I'm not gonna read it though. This book gives me the vibe of a James Michener book. A lot of dates and places, a lot of study. So it just validates for me the the genius James Michener puts into his work. Like he really goes into the, he goes in. You know, there's on chapter 6 of this book is called "You Had to Wear a Skirt." Geneva, Switzerland. It's a lot of good stuff. A lot of places. We gonna get through this one. This is good. And then the last one that I got, it's not the last one actually. I did get a couple more from the Goodwill, but as of right now, on me, I actually don't. They're in the other room, and so I'm not going over there to get. Oh, I got one right here. I got a book about poodles because I have one, and then I got this book here called "The Berenstein Bears and the Missing Dinosaur Bone." It was pretty funny. I read it really quick, so I just want to read it just so I can see how they implicate real truths in little bitty books. You know, real truth fitting in little book. That always fascinates me how that happens. So that's where I'm at with those books that I got today from thrift stores that I went to. I got other stuff, but for books, that is what I got. And so we'll be reading those in certain ways throughout time, you know. Nobody's in a rush at all. My poster it says it's still sending. Crazy, man. Man, I'm sitting here in awe right now because I'm like so much stuff going on, dude. People is all trying to make a point. Now, one of my books that I'm reading right now that I actually picked up a little while ago is called. I'm not gonna say I'm reading it, but I am looking at it. I'm observing it. It's called Subduction by Design by Sandra Brown. She said in the book, she said, "Dear readers, or dear reader, for years before I began writing general fiction, I wrote genre romances. Seduction by Design was originally published almost 20 years ago. This book here that I have in my hand was published in 1983, so that means it was originally published in 1963. See, this story reflects the trends and attitudes that were popular at that time, but its theme and internal are internal. Its themes are eternal and universal. As in all romance fiction, the plot revolves around star-crossed lovers. There are moments of passion, anguish, and tenderness, all integral facets of falling in love. I very much enjoyed romances. They are optimistic in orientation and have a charm unique to any other form of fiction. If this is your first taste of it, please enjoy. Sandra Brown. I'd say I might want to read this book through and through. I didn't know. I didn't. I just got it because it was according to another book that I'm reading. It was the same time period that she was working this out, and it was done the exact same way, the way they published it, with this little picture in the middle. And I just got it because it was that, and I just like her work. But I think I should actually read this book deeply, like for real, because I think she put a good gem inside of it, and it might be a gem that's. I think it's a gem that's mine, man. Because I mean, I think so. You know, sometimes you just know. So I think I need to jump in there. All right, guys. So what I'm doing right now is some writing. I'm gonna let y'all go here. We'll get off of this, but I want to say thank you for listening to the Humming Podcast with your boy. We've been tapped in. We always gonna tap in. Deuces.